Hello everyone. In this lecture we will discuss one more feature of assembler, that is machine independent. Basically that feature is machine independent. In the earlier lectures we had discussed literals, symbol defining statements, expressions. Today in this lecture we will discuss program blocks. The source program logically contained subroutines, data areas, etc. However, they were handled by the assembler as one entity, resulting in a single block of object program. Within this object program, the generated machine instructions and data appeared in the same order as they were written in the source program. But many assemblers provide the feature that allow the generated machine instructions and data to be appear in the object program in a different order from the corresponding source statements. That means if in the source statement program S1 and S2 instructions are written, that are simple instruction, and D1 and D2 instructions are written, that are basically just reserving the data area. Now in some assemblers, or you can say generally in all assemblers, these statements may appear in different order as they were written in the source program. Program blocks refer to segments of code that are rearranged within a single object program unit. That means if you are given with a program, by using the concept of program block, if there are statements S1, S2, D1 and D2, we have to form the program blocks. Suppose that I have taken the block 2 for D1 and D2 and block 1 for S1 and S2. These statements can be rearranged in the program, or you can say object program. In a single object program, these statements can be rearranged. Rearranged means what? B1 and B2 can be rearranged. That means either we have to write first B2 or B1, it does not matter. Now in program blocks, actually when we are using the program blocks, there is a pseudo instruction that is used, that is known as use statement. And it is written like this: use and then block name. Basically this statement provide instruction to the assembler that the block name, suppose that the block name is B1. If I am getting this instruction use B1 in our program, it instruct the assembler that block B1 has been started from this, after this instruction. At the beginning, the statements are assumed to be part of unnamed block, and actually the unnamed block is written as default block. It is considered as default block. That means what? If I am not getting this instruction in the beginning, then it is assumed that all the instruction before the instruction use are in the default block. If no use statement are included, the entire program belongs to this single block. That means if in the program there is no use statement, then the entire program belongs to a single block. Each program block may actually contain several separate segments of source program. That means some part of the source program will be written in block 1, some part of the source program will be written in block 2, some part of the source program will be written in block 3. It depends upon the number of blocks that are written in the program by using the statement use. Now, what will be the changes in the pass 1 and pass 2 algorithm of assembler? The task of pass 1 and pass 2 is same. In pass 1 we have to define the symbol, and in pass 2 we have to calculate the object program, or you can say object code. Pass 1, each program block has a separate location counter. Remember that each program block has a separate location counter. Each label is assigned an address that is relative to the start of the block that contains it. That means the label address will be same, or you can say it will be relative to the block in which that label is present. At the end of pass 1, the latest value of location counter for each block indicates the length of that block. The assembler can then assign to each block a starting address in the object program. Suppose that there are block 1 and block 2, and our program start from 0000 address. Then the default value, or you can say initially the value of location counter for each block will be 0000. And so location counter value, or you can say the starting address of block 1 is 0000, and the size of, suppose that this block is 000A, and the size of block 2 is 000B. So how you will get the starting address of block 2 in the object program? Just add this value. By default you will get the starting address of block 2 in your object program, that is written here. Assembler can assign to each block a starting address in the object program. This is the task of assembler, to assign these addresses. Now in pass 2, the address of each symbol can be computed by adding the assigned block starting address. Remember that you will get the address of the symbol by adding the block starting address and the relative address of the symbol. Relative address of the symbol. Actually, when we are using pass 1, in pass 1 we are maintaining a table in which block number is written. What is the starting address of that block? Suppose that this is 0000, this is default block. And what is the size of this block? Suppose that this is 000A. And then block 2. What is the size of block 2? 000B. What is the starting address of block 2? That is 000A. Just add these values, you will get the starting address of another block. After this, suppose that there is another block B3, just add this value, you will get the starting address of block B3. This table, symbol table and lateral table lit tab. Lit tab. These are maintained in pass 1. These are maintained in pass 1. And when I am using the pass 2, the main task is calculate the object code in pass 2. How you will calculate the object code? You will get the target address by just adding the block starting address plus the relative address of that symbol. Then you will get the target address of that symbol only. Now just take an example to understand that how to calculate the address and how to maintain the symbol table, literal table and this table that is used that is maintained by pass 1. Here in our program, this is the part of the program. In our program, block name are default. Block names are default block, C data block, CBLKS block. The block number corresponding these block is 0, 1, 2, and that basically why I had divided this program into 3 blocks. Default block, this one, it only consider the simple instructions. That means the simple instruction of the program are written in default block. In C data block, the instruction that takes less amount of memory are written. But in CBLK's block, the instruction that takes large amount of memory are written in CBLK's block. Actually, this program is divided into blocks. You can see the name of the program is copy and the starting address of the program is 0. So, the location counter 1 corresponding default block, location counter 2 corresponding C data block and location counter 3 corresponding CBLKS block, each are assigned with the 0 address. Now, there is no use instruction, you can see here. So, this instruction will be in default block, this also in default block, this one and this one, until I am not getting any use instruction. Now, when I am getting this instruction, first STL RET ADR. This is the first instruction of the default block. So, the address corresponding this will be 0000 and this is in default block. So, block number is 0 and this is the label which will be entered into the symbol table. So, it is entered here first. Now, the address corresponding this label is 0000. It is written in the value field, this one. The block corresponding this label is 0. So, it is written here 0. And we have to maintain one more information. Either this label is relative or it is absolute value. Here you can see the value of first depend upon the starting address. So, it is a relative. So, it is written here relative term. Now, the next instruction, or you can say this one instruction is written in this STL RET ADR. This is written in format 3. So, it takes only 3 byte of memory. So, the next location counter value becomes 0003. So, this one becomes 0003. This instruction also takes 3 byte of memory because it is also written in format 3. So, the next value of location counter value becomes 0006 and this is for location counter 1 because I am considering default block here, you can see. This is also written in format 3. So, the next value is 0009. So, it becomes 0009. This is also written in format 3. So, the next location counter value will be what? 000C. So, it will be 000C. This is also written in format 3. So, the next value becomes 000F. So, this value becomes 000F. This is also written in format 3. The next value becomes 0012. Here it is, this value becomes 0012. Now, this is also written in format 3. Next value becomes 0015. This location counter value, updated value of this location counter is 0015. This is also written in format 3. Basically, this is a literal here. So, the next location counter value will be 0018. So, you can see the current value of location counter 1 until this part of the program is 0018. Now, next part of the program is now you can see here after this instruction 0018, this is also written in format 3. So, our location counter value becomes 001898B. For the next instruction, which is from default block, the address will be what? 001B. So, this instruction is from 0th block. So, the address is 001B, this one. This is format 3 instruction. So, the next address will be 001E. This will be 001E. This is also format 3 instruction. Next address will be 0021. It will be 0021. This is also format 3 instruction. Next address will be 0024. This will be 0024. This is also format 3 instruction. So the next address will be 0027, 0027. This is our current value of the location counter 1 of default block. Now after this instruction I am getting here use C data. That means the C data block start from the next instruction until I am not getting any use instruction. Because this is the pseudo instruction which is used to find out which block is used now. And C data block is used now. So the block number becomes 1 corresponding the C data block. This is 1 here. So it becomes 1. This also belongs to the block 1. And block 1 starting address is 0000, or you can say the current address is 0000. So it becomes 0000. Now here the instruction is reserved 1. That means only one word is reserved here. That means 3 byte. So our next location counter value will be 0003. So it will be now 0003. Now after, you can see here there is a label RETADR. It will be entered into the symbol table. RETADR block number is 1. Starting address is 00, or you can say the address corresponding RETADR is 0000. It is written here RETADR 0000 block 1, and this is related one because the value of RETADR depend upon the starting address of the program. Now length, this is also related one because the value 0003 depend upon the value of this starting value of this block, starting address of this block. So it is also entered here. You can see here length, this one 0003 first block and relative term this one. In this way these labels are entered into the symbol table. Now after this instruction, the instruction is length RESW1, reserved 1, that means 3 byte. So the next location counter value will be 0006. The current value of location counter 2 is 0006. Then the instruction is use CBL case. That means CBL case block is used now. So these instruction, or you can say buffer, buffend, these instruction will be from block 2. This is written here block 2. And the current value of location counter 3 is 0000. So the address corresponding 3, this one instruction is 0000. And buffer will be entered into the symbol table. Buffer, you can see here. Buffer address is 0000 value, and block number is 2, and this is relative term. Buffend block 2, and this signifies that the current address becomes the value of buffend. So the current address is what? 1000. You can see here it is written as reserved byte 4096. If I write 4096 in hexadecimal 1000, if I add 0000 plus 1000, we will get the next value of next address of the instruction. That will be 1000. So now our location counter 3 becomes 1000. And maxlen EQ buffend minus buffer, you can see here. When we enter maxlen in the symbol table, maxlen this one, the value of maxlen is what? Buffend minus buffer. And what is the value of buffend? That is 1000. Value of buffer, that is 0. Subtract those, you will get 1000. The value of maxlen is 1000, and maxlen is an absolute value here. It is an absolute value. That's why the block number is not assigned. Here you can see also maxlen is an absolute value because this buffend is a relative term, buffer is a relative term. So when we subtract the relative term, we will get the absolute value. That's why it becomes the absolute value. This one, there is no block number assigned corresponding maxlen. Now the next part of this program is, and you can see here until this point of the program, our current value of location counter 1 is 0027 and location counter 2 is 0006. Now this instruction is use, that means there is no operand here, it is considered as default block. If I am getting use instruction without any operand or without any block name, then that is considered as default block. Start from here. So the RDREC, ClearX, is from zeroth block. Zeroth block, that means default block, and the location counter value, current location counter value corresponding default block is 0027. So here it becomes 0027, and this instruction is from format 2. So the next value becomes 0029. So this location counter updated value becomes 0029. This is also from format 2 instruction. This is also format 2 instruction. So the next value becomes 002B. So this value becomes 002B. This is also format 2 instruction. Next value becomes 002D. So this one becomes 002D. And this is format 4 instruction. So it takes 4 byte of memory. So the next address becomes 0031. This value becomes 0031. Format 3 instruction. So the next value becomes 0034. This value becomes 0034. Format 3 instruction. This value next address becomes 0037. So it is 0037. Format 3 instruction, the next value becomes 003A. So this one becomes 003A. Format 2 instruction. So the next value becomes 003C. Location counter value, current value is 003C. Format 3 instruction. So the current location counter value becomes 003F. 3F. Format 3 instruction. So next value becomes 0044. 0044. Format 3 instruction. So the next value becomes 0047. The current value of our location counter is 0047. You can see location counter 1 current value is 0047, and location counter 2 current value is 0006, and location counter 3 current value is 1000. This is 47. This is 47. Now the next part of this program is this one. Current value of location counter 1 is 0047, and this is from block 0. So the next value is 0047. This is written in format 3. So the next value becomes 004A. This one becomes 004A. R sub, this takes 3 byte of memory. So the next value becomes ABCD. That means it becomes 004D. And now you can see here, I am getting here another use instruction, use C data. That means the first block is used now. So it is written here first block. You can see here. And the location counter value corresponding first block is 0006. So the address becomes here 0006. Input is entered here, input 0006, block 1, and this is related term here. That takes only 1 byte memory. So the next address, or you can say the current location counter value of block 1 will be 0007. After this statement, I am getting here use instruction. That means this is default block. So it is written here 0000. And corresponding default block, the current location counter value is 004D. So here it becomes 004D. Format 2 instruction, the next value becomes 004F. This one becomes 004F. Format 3 instruction, this is literal here, and we have to maintain a literal pool also. In that we have to enter the literals. That means we have to enter EOF. That was the first literal, and the value corresponding this one is 45, 4F, 46, because the sky value, or you can say the hexadecimal value of EOF is 4546 4F, 4F 46, 45 4F 46. Size of this literal 3 byte, and the address corresponding this literal, I cannot assign the address before the literal pool. Now this is format 3 instruction. So the next location counter value will be 0055. So after 52, this will be 0052, and after 52 we will get 0055. Now after this instruction 55, this is also format 3 instruction. The next value will be 0058. So this will be 0058. This is also format 3 instruction. Next value will be 005B. This value will be 005B. This is also format 3 instruction. The next value will be 005E. 005E. And this is a format 2 instruction. The next value, next address will be EF0, that means 0060. So the current value of location counter 1 is 60, and corresponding location counter 2, the current value of location counter 2 is 0007. You can see here 0007. Now the next part of this program is this one. Current value of location counter 1 is 0060, and this is from block 0. This instruction is in block 0. So the next value becomes 0060, and this is written in format 3. So the next value becomes 0063. This value becomes 0063. This also takes 3 byte of memory. So the next value becomes 0066. Current value of our location counter 1 is 0066. Now I am getting here use C data, that means block 1 is started from here. And after this I am getting another instruction is LTORG, that means lateral pool. We have to generate the lateral pool now, because this pseudo instruction gives the instruction to the assembler that generate the lateral pools that are used earlier. That means the laterals that are used earlier, the lateral pool for those laterals are generated here. You can see here what was the lateral CEOF, this one, another was X05, and this value corresponding this one is 05, and size of this lateral is 1 byte. Now I can assign the address corresponding these laterals. You can see here this is in block 1, and in block 1 the current address is 0007, so it becomes 0007, this one, and corresponding this lateral the address is 0007, and it is in block 1. We have to maintain the block also. It is in block 1. Now this is 3 byte, size of this lateral is 3 byte, so just add 3 in 0007, you will get the next address, that becomes 000A. So the location counter value becomes 000A, and this is 1 byte lateral, this one. So the current next value of the location counter will be 000B, and after this there is an end statement. So our program has been completed. Now our task is to find out the starting address of each blocks. The starting address of each blocks. This is corresponding location counter 2, location counter 1, and this one is location counter 3. You can see here default block number 0, start address is 0000, that is the starting address of the program. The length of this block is 000066. And the length of C data block is 000B. Length of CBLKS block is 1000. The current value of location counter becomes the length of those blocks. Now, by default, just these values are added, this one and this one. If I add these values, then we will get the starting address of C data. That becomes 0066. And this address is given by the assembler only. That means this is the task of assembler to add this one and assign the starting address of C data as 0066. Next add this one value 0066 and B, you will get the starting address of CBLKS, that is 0071. And after pass 1 I am getting this table, symbol table and lateral table, and these tables are used in pass 2 to calculate the object code corresponding each and every instruction that are written in the program. So we will study in the next lecture how to calculate the object code. And remember that we have find out the tables. This one table where the starting address of each block and the size of, or you can say the length of each block is given and the block number is given. Symbol table, in the symbol table every label that is present in the program are here with the type information, and this type information is basically used to calculate the value of expression. Remember that if it is remembered to you, when we are calculating the max length, there was buffend and buffer, and we had to find out the value of buffend minus buffer. And how you will find out buffend is relative? You will get the information from the symbol table only. When you see about the buffend in symbol table, you will get that this is the relative term, and minus buffer is also relative term, and you know that when there are two relative terms with opposite sign, that means where plus and minus sign, then always we get the absolute value. That's why max length was absolute value. For that purpose we maintain this type information. And value, we know that this value is required at the time of calculation of object code to find out the displacement. And block number is used because we know that when we are using the block, at that time when we want to calculate the target address will be the block starting address of that level block, or you can say, if suppose that I am taking the length as an example here, length is in block 1. So when we want to calculate the address corresponding length, we will calculate like this. The block 1 is starting address, that is 0006 plus the address of length in that block, that is 0003. So the target address corresponding length will be 0069. That is the requirement to maintain the block number in symbol table. And in the literal table also, when we are getting the literal, and literals are processed just like the labels. Only the difference is that if I am not writing this LTORG statement here, then the literal pool will be generated by default after the end statement, and literals just signify the literal value of that label. For example, x05. What is the value of this label? That is 05. Now that means what? In the next lecture we will discuss how to calculate the object code corresponding to each and every instruction that are given in this program, and we will use these tables when we will calculate the object code corresponding to the instruction. Thank you.